to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about one of the most important reasons I'm here and one of the biggest reasons I made this channel in the first place. So put your seatbelts on, buckle up. One of the reasons I assume that you're here is because you saw the title, and that's how I gained my period back while still going to the gym, which is a huge factor. I find that's really important to so many women because that's a huge factor in why we lose our periods in the first place. It's overstressing of your body to where your hormones are imbalanced and your body basically says no, I'm too stressed to be able to give you a period, which is so important. I can't stress how important it is to have a period as a woman for your long-term health. And so I hope that these tips really help you guys. I hope that you're able to come out the other side. I'd love to learn a little bit more about what you guys are doing for yourselves. If you want to leave some comments below, you are here for a reason. Please keep watching. You're gonna learn a lot. I had hypothalamic amenorrhea for about 4 years of my life. I did not have a period for 4 years, you guys. That is so unhealthy as a woman. It's been about a year of me having a regular period, which is so fantastic because for the longest time I felt like I was broken. And that is one of the biggest things I would say when you have hypothalamic amenorrhea, going through any hormonal issues, if you're going through PCOS, those types of issues, you feel like you're broken. And I'm gonna tell you, you're not broken because you are able to work through these things. Obviously, certain issues you do need a doctor's help for. I was able to cure my hypothalamic amenorrhea with some tips from a holistic nutritionist I was seeing at the time, and obviously through my own research. So I went to a holistic nutritionist and I was told basically that my luteinizing hormone was so low that my body was basically in fight or flight. And that was from the amount that I was exercising at the time. At one point, I was super lean. I was about 13% body fat. I've been into bodybuilding for about maybe 7 years now. So, yeah, going on 7 years. Wow, time flies. So I've been into bodybuilding for about 7 years now. And I was at one point training practically for a bodybuilding competition, and I was at 13% body fat, which for a woman is extremely low, and your body cannot produce regular hormones. Some women they can, which is amazing to me, but at that point your body is basically struggling to just keep your regular system going. It can't make a baby at that point. You're such low body fat, you cannot physically produce and grow a child inside of you with that low of body fat. Healthy is from 18% and up, and I was at 13, so I was super lean. I'm going to input a photo of how lean I was if I can find one for you guys, and then I'll actually put a photo now of what my physique is like now. I gained about 20 to 30 pounds since then, and I am so much healthier than I ever was. The whole fitness part of it is such a huge thing, and I know that you're here because you want to learn how to get your period back while still exercising, and I'm here to tell you that you can. You do have to make changes, but it's possible. If you haven't read, I'm sure you've probably done a little bit of research on your own already, and a book that I read was No Period, Now What? I actually have it with me. Looks like this. It is by Dr. Nicola Rinaldi. Great book, really informational, but one of the things that I didn't like about it, and one of the things that you probably didn't like about it if you read it, is that for women who are passionate about fitness, women who, for so many of us, that is our identity and so much of our lives. And the book essentially tells you that you can't get your period back and still exercise or weightlift or do intense weightlifting. And for me, that was extremely discouraging. And I actually went through a phase for a while where I basically said, I guess I'm never getting my period back. And I think that's a very discouraging thing. You definitely can get your period back without going all in, as the book explains. So the book explains like you have to go all in essentially, which is where you stop exercising and you eat, I think it's around 3,000 calories a day. And that just for some women is not realistic. And for me, that wasn't realistic. For me, I was so discouraged at one point where I was like, I guess I'm never going to be healthy because I like the way I look now. And as much as that was still a huge learning curve for me, I've come a long way from where I used to be physically and mentally with my own body image. For some women, and most women who are active, and that's the reason that you have hypothalamic amenorrhea in the first place, is because you're so active that your hormones are imbalanced. So what you have to do is find a happy medium and a happy balance for your own body, and that doesn't come without some changes. I am telling you that there are some changes that you have to make in your life in order to get a period back and in order to be healthy, and you will be a healthier version of yourself. When I look back at photos of myself and how lean I was back when I didn't have a period, and that photo of when I was super lean, I did not have a period then. So essentially what that's telling you is if your body can't function properly with the current physique that you have, that is not the physique that is the healthiest version of you. And that took me a long time to accept, was that the physique that I had fallen in love with and been so proud of was not my ideal physique because I wasn't at my healthiest. And that might take you longer to accept, but that is the reality of the situation. So I'm gonna go through a list of things that I personally did myself in order to gain a regular period back and cure my hypothalamic amenorrhea. I did not completely cut out the gym. I did not start eating 3,000 calories a day. In fact, when I recently did a tiny little cut for the summer, I cut my calories, still exercised, and still kept a regular period. So for myself personally, I've discovered that working out 6 to 7 days a week is not realistic for my body and my body type. If I work out 6 to 7 days a week, I will lose my period. This is something that you have to play with yourself. It is still possible to weightlift. It is still possible to do bodybuilding. It is still possible to do HIIT training and still have a period. For me at the time when I was super lean and didn't have a period, I was doing weightlifting about 6 days a week, and I did HIIT training 1 day a week. So I was training 7 days a week. Even when I was training 6 days, I still didn't have a regular period. I cut down to about 5 days a week. That would be about 4 or 5 days weightlifting. I would do like 1 day of yoga a week and one, what's the word? and one active rest day. So I'm now, because it's summertime, I thrive in the summer. I like to take my days off in the summer from the gym if it's beautiful out. I don't want to be inside a stuffy gym as much as I love the gym. So this summer I've actually only been going to the gym about 3 days a week. Obviously I have a period at this point, but during the winter I'm normally in the gym about 5 days a week, and I do still have a period. So as much as you are able to be in the gym, you do have to cut back a little bit. If you are in the gym 7 days a week and doing high intensity training, it's not realistic that you're going to have a period. Again, this is something that you're gonna have to play with yourself. And like I said, I'm not a doctor and I don't know exactly what's going to work for you, but what has worked for me is cutting down a little bit on my training. Even if you slowly remove 1 day a week and see how that works for you. That's personally what I did, and it's worked. Another thing is stress. So like obviously high stress is not the healthiest for you, and I think that is a huge factor in getting your period back, is minimal stress. So if there's different ways that in your daily life, if you can take some self-care days and really take care of yourself, that is super important to getting your period back. Another thing is nutrition. Nutrition wise, there are certain supplements that I took that I found helped immensely with getting my period back. And in fact, I've done trial and error where I've removed them from my diet and noticed that my period either is off balance or I skip it or lose it for a month. So these supplements are something that I've implemented into my diet. Again, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not prescribing you these, but I have taken my holistic nutrition and health coaching, and so I do know a little bit about nutrition and these supplements, and have found that they have helped in my journey in gaining my period back. Bear with me, I have my phone on me because I have notes. Un momento. I'm gonna list off how these might be helpful. Omega-3s, because they're anti-inflammatory, they help balance your hormones and increase uterine blood flow. So these are all based on studies done on these vitamins and supplements. So vitamin D deficiency is very common in women. Low vitamin D is associated with maternal problems. Vitamin D is essentially in women's reproductive tissues. If you're low in vitamin D, you're gonna have issues with your reproductive system as a woman. B vitamins affect your estrogen levels, which obviously can affect your period. They're associated with higher levels of reproductive hormones. Zinc plays a large role in hormone release. Vitamin C is also associated with higher progesterone levels, so vitamin C is another one. Inositol is prescribed to women with PCOS. So when I was seeing a holistic nutritionist, one of the things that was prescribed to me was inositol. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that one correctly, but inositol. And this is based on its effect on hormone regulation. Another thing I take daily is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is an adaptogenic herb, which lowers your cortisol levels, which is something obviously that is a huge factor in women with hypothalamic amenorrhea. And it might help the body maintain equilibrium within your hormones. That is a huge thing as well. I notice, I would say inositol and ashwagandha are the biggest ones that have affected my hormones personally. Again, like I said, like you personally are going to have to find what works with you and your body. But based on studies on certain vitamins and supplements, those vitamins, if your body isn't getting the correct vitamins, your hormones aren't gonna function properly. So that is a huge factor that I think is missed, and something that isn't mentioned a lot when it comes to getting a period back as a woman and hypothalamic amenorrhea, and how your hormones are affected by what you eat and what you put into your body. Not only what you do with your body, obviously exercising is creating so much stress on your body, but what you put into your body is having a huge effect on you as well. So another thing that I would say had a profound effect on me gaining my period back and gaining a regular cycle was removing toxic products from my daily life. So anything I was using, like my makeup products, my shampoos, my lotions, I realized when I did a deep dive into my products that I was using when I did my school on holistic nutrition was how important it is not only what we put in our bodies, but what we put on our bodies. Our skin is our largest organ, so what we put on our bodies is hugely important. When I did a deep dive into the products I was using, I realized and learned that one of the mascaras that I've been using basically since high school was an endocrine disruptor. So your endocrine system is essentially what facilitates your hormones and how your hormones work in your body. If your endocrine system is disrupted, your hormones will 100% be affected as well. So that was a huge wake-up call for me, was learning that a product that I was basically putting on my face for 10 years could be affecting my personal health. So when I realized this, I did a slow purge of any toxic products that I could find in my makeup bag, removed any toxic makeup, and moved completely to 100% natural makeup. If you are interested in learning the makeup products that I do use, I can make another video on that another time. Definitely just like this video or leave a comment. I would love to do another video on that. If you want to learn about the products that you use and if they might be affecting your hormones, you can use the EWG Skin database So that is the website that I used, and I learned about it when I was studying holistic nutrition. You essentially just put in the product that you use, and it will do an ingredient call out and tell you any of the ingredients that you're using, if they disrupt your hormones, if they're endocrine disruptors at all. And that's what I learned essentially about the mascara that I've been using for years, was that it was an endocrine disruptor. And like I said, that was a huge wake-up call for me, is just learning that something that I was using could be a huge factor in how my body was reacting and how my body was working at the time. Since I've removed all of my toxic products, I now use all 100% natural makeup. I use natural lotions, natural shampoos, natural soaps, things like that. And I would say that is one of the biggest factors in me getting my period back and having a regular cycle. I think that's everything. I think I covered everything. If there's anything else that you want to know, or anything you think I may have missed, or anything you want more details on, leave a comment below. If this helped you at all, I would love to know. Leave a comment as well, or like the video. And I really, really hope this helps. I wish you the best on your healing journey. I want you to know that it is possible to heal. It is possible to recover from hypothalamic amenorrhea. I did it myself. I'm a year recovered from it, and it's amazing. When you get your first period back, you're like, oh my God, I'm not broken. I cried when I got my period back. And you can do it, and there's really not much to it. It's just learning what works with your body and how you can improve your health. And that's number one, I would say, is just making sure that you're healthy. And yeah. So again, if you like this video, please like it, please subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna post a lot more videos like this very soon, hopefully, and I hope to see you guys around. Thanks, bye. Okay, so as I mentioned, I did read the book No Period, No Problem. Wait, I've been saying the wrong title this whole time. No period, now what? No period, no problem. No, there's a big problem. So, we're gonna start this whole video over again. I can't tell if it's focusing on. One of the most important reasons I'm here, and why we're all here, and that is my experience with hypothalamic amenorrhea. I need a snack. I think that's what I need.